Hi everyone, today I am here to do a numerical on momentum. So the numerical problem goes like this. A man of mass 60 kg moves on a 6 meter long, 240 kg stationary boat at a speed of 1.2 meter per second. So we are asked to determine the velocity of the boat relative to water. So let's just consider a man walking on a boat with speed of 1.2 meter per second on the water, and let's just consider this to be a closed system. We suppose that m1 to be mass of the man, m2 to be mass of the boat, v1 to be velocity of the man relative to boat, v2 to be the velocity of man relative to water, and v3 to be velocity of the boat relative to water. So the velocity of man relative to the water, which is v2, can be written as the sum of the velocity of man relative to boat plus velocity of boat relative to water, v3. So mathematically this can be written as v2 equals to v1 plus v3. Let's just consider this to be our equation 1. So according to the question, we are given the speed with which the man is walking in the boat, which is 1 minus 1.2 meter per second, and if we substitute that value in equation 1, we get v2 to be minus 1.2 plus v3. From the law of conservation of momentum, we can write m1 times v2 plus m2 times v3 equals to 0, since boat and man both were at rest in initial state, and we know that m1 is the mass of the man, v2 is the velocity of the man relative to water, m2 is the mass of the boat, and v3 is the velocity of the boat relative to water. So substituting the value of m1 to be 60, v2 to be minus 1.2 plus v3, m2 to be 240, and v3 to be v3 equals to 0. v3 is the value that we want to find. So after doing the algebra, we get v3 to be 72 by 300, which is 0.24 meter per second. Therefore we can conclude that the velocity of the boat relative to the water was 0.24 meter per second. Our second question is, if the man starts from one end of the boat and ends at the other, find the distance by which the boat is shifted. For this question, we know the value of the speed of boat with which it is moving, but we don't know the time. So in order to know the distance by which the boat is shifted, we need to know the time, how long it has been shifted with the speed of 0.2 meter per second. So we can determine this by dividing the total length of the boat by the speed with which the man is traveling in the boat. So the distance of the boat is 6 meters and the man is traveling in the boat from one end to other with the speed of 1.2 meter per second. So we get the value of time to be 5 seconds. Now the distance traveled by the boat can be calculated by time into speed, which is 5 into 0.24, that is 1.2 meters. So the distance traveled by boat was 1.2 meters. Now our third and final question is, determine the velocity of the boat if the man falls out of the boat at the other end while walking. Since our system consists of boat and man, we can use the equation 2 above and write m1 times v2 plus m2 times v3 equals to 0. So substituting the respective value, we get v3 to be equals to 0.24, which is similar to question 1, which means that the boat would be still traveling with the speed of 0.24 meter per second if the man reaches the ends and fall out of it. That was it for today. Thank you.